Is it just me, or has Cody gotten progressively worse in each of these tell-all episodes? The guy, here's what I think. This episode revealed him to be exceptionally manipulative. At the start of the episode, he starts talking about how frustrated he's been with his wives, and this idea that he is thinking that maybe a plural marriage isn't the right thing for him. Maybe he's questioning polygamy. But what he's not saying is, I wonder how I perform in polygamy or in a plural marriage. What he's saying is, you 4 wives are so crappy. Not all 4, really. You 3 wives, Meri, Janelle, and Christine, you're so bad at being in a plural marriage that it makes me question whether or not this family is going to work. But I guarantee you what he feels inside is, I'm going to show you how devastating what you're doing is. It's the same mechanism, by the way, that in a monogamous marriage, when one party goes, if you don't stop doing this, I'm going to get divorced. Maybe we should get divorced. This marriage isn't working for me. What you're saying is, this doesn't work. Your crappy behavior doesn't work. And so I'm going to hold our marriage hostage. I will kill our marriage if you don't get your shit together. And that is a horrific way to navigate conflict. This episode really showed that Cody has no ability to think logically about his emotions and then react to them in a healthy way. For example, when he heard through his kids that Christine wasn't happy in the marriage, he didn't go and have a conversation with his wife of whatever it was, 20 years. Instead, he withheld intimacy. He punished her without actually having the conversation and then resented her for not discussing it with him. It's like the most backwards way of navigating conflict. He also has done the exact same thing with Meri, and I think with Janelle. When he's not happy with their behavior or their level of obedience, he just withholds love and intimacy. And so instead of talking through it in therapy, like the guy's going to therapy. I don't know what the therapist is doing with them, but they're going to therapy, and yet he doesn't have a transparent conversation about how his wife feels about things. Instead, he just withholds and goes and sleeps with Robyn. Janelle seems totally fine with it. I don't think she's interested in Cody. But Meri's devastated, and he doesn't care because he likes the fact that he can control her this way. I also thought it was interesting, if you saw about halfway into the episode, he was getting questions from Suki. The interviewer was asking him about Christine, and he eventually got fed up and turned to her and goes, I'm going to ask you not to ask any more questions about Christine. It was such a shift, right? This is a story about him and his family. Of course, there's going to be questions when there's a divorce. And instead of him directly answering the questions, what he tries to do is get out in front of it and manipulate the interviewer and control the direction of the questions. My first thought was, would he have treated Suki that way if she were a male interviewer? Right? Is there a part of him who feels comfortable asserting himself and manipulating women? That's the first thought. The second thought is, what a remarkable example of a guy finding ways to pivot away from actually self-reflecting on the impact he has had on all of these women. All right, let me shift gears a little bit though, and let's talk about Robyn. Robyn, I never really paid attention to it, but the people in my last video commented, everybody calls her Sobbin' Robyn. She cries all the time, but doesn't actually cry. And so I paid attention in this episode. First of all, hell of a drinking game if you were to drink every time Robyn cries. And then if you actually pay attention to it, she really doesn't tear up. So she may have some kind of tear duct issue or surgery or whatever, and so no tears are created. But that entire episode, she cried constantly and never once really shed a tear. It makes me feel like there is a piece of her which feels like I think she's okay with the way it is because she is the wife that is in the true relationship with Cody. And I think she feels comfortable in that. And so she is really frustrated with the other wives because they can't get it together the way she has. The question is, what happens when Cody begins to treat her the way he has treated Meri, Janelle, and Christine? And my guess is that she will be devastated. I think she is so dependent on him. I've said it in the last video. She, in many ways, meets the diagnostic criteria for dependent personality disorder. She is so invested in whatever he thinks, so deferential to him. She is so aligned with him. I think if she gets the cold shoulder, I think she will be absolutely crushed. And I do think that Cody has the capacity to move on from her into other relationships. I imagine as Christine moves out, he's going to be looking to bring somebody else in, especially if he wants to have more kids, right? As she gets older, he's going to have to bring in new people. And lastly, I just want to say I was impressed and proud almost of Christine. At the end of the episode, Suki, the interviewer, asks Cody and Robyn, what do you hope for Christine? And they both said, I hope she gets married and has a happy life with happy kids or whatever, right? But it's clear if you look at the two of them, they view marriage and her ability to perform in marriage as sort of the marker of success in life. And when Christine was asked that question, what she said was, I'm dating me right now. I'm figuring out who I am right now. And it looks like she is actively being herself and enjoying being on her own. And I think that's the right answer versus her saying, yeah, I'm looking to date and find somebody else, another relationship to jump right into. I thought it was a super healthy response. So for me, she is by far the most psychologically stable, healthy of the whole group. I know it was a rough year for her, but I think things are going really well. Thank you for watching. If you liked it, please hit the like button, subscribe, all those things. I'll link a cool video here, which the YouTube algorithm says that you're gonna like. Or you can check out my new channel over here, which is about psychology in general. Different format than this, but I think you'll find it interesting. Check it out. All right, thanks for watching.